Hey, Mental Gen. Today we're going to be taking a look at a game for the refined gentleman. A game so loaded up with assets, somehow Fleekazoid still hasn't done a video on it yet. So, go ahead and take a seat for this goon sesh. Like as in goons, not the other goon. This is going to be a long one, no pun intended. Have you ever watched the anime Black Lagoon? Remember how there's that nun character with the guns? Were you young and impressionable and easily imprinted on by the cartoons you grew up with that ultimately programmed your taste in women? If so, this guy on Twitter by the name of Chobi has a game just for you. You know, it's hard to review a game without mentioning some of the author's previous works. Chobi first came out with a game by the name of Wedding Witch. It's a bullet hell roguelike that appeals to all the fetishes of DeviantArt. Well, besides the ones involving Fuda. We don't talk about that here on this channel. Do I own Wedding Witch? Yes, but only ironically and for the sake of researching for making this video. Which excludes me from any Gooner accusations. Is Wedding Witch a rough game? Yes, kind of. It's more of a first attempt or a rough draft of a far better game. That far better game being Nunholy. So let's actually get into Nunholy here. The story, yes, the very thing you clicked on this video for, and most certainly not the thumbnail. The story, you play as a nun with some holy order or something. You're a half vampire, half human. How did that happen? Your guess is as good as mine. The vampire queen has corrupted this entire land. You are tasked by the busty nun order to go and kill all the vampires. The queen's underlings, and the queen herself. The real question is, will you embrace your vampire powers and become an MVP at your local Diddy party? Or will you remain pure and not drink the blood? Depending on your playstyle, it will affect the ending of the game. Drink blood? Well, you're gonna get the bad ending. The only ending considered the true one is to not drink blood the entire game. Spoiler alert, by the way. Do you actually drink the blood? There's not an animation for it, but I imagine that's what vampires do. I very obviously picked the vampire playstyle because I'm here to have fun and to not sit and edge myself for the entire playthrough, while worrying about what different JPEG ending I'm going to get. As a matter of fact, I sincerely hate it when games do this to the player. Oh, you want to play the game in the way that it was very clearly designed to be played? You're gonna get the bad ending. When I played Dishonored for the first time, my initial reaction was not, oh wow, these sleeping errors are so cool. It was, oh shit, you're telling me I can summon swarms of rats to devour my enemies and do sick-ass takedown animations and feel like an unstoppable god among men. Bad news, hombre. If you want to have fun, you're gonna get punished for it. That's exactly what Nunholy does. But it's okay though, we're not here for the story. We all know why we're here. For the gameplay. That's it. And nothing else. Gameplay. When you're starting your playthrough, you can pick between 1 of 3 characters. All 3 have a unique style of gameplay. Freya, the cover girl of the game, is a mix between melee and has limited range attacks. Mari has a huge ass gun and throws grenades, being a ranged character. Sane? Yeah, she's literally just Virgil from Devil May Cry. I'm not even joking. Did I play all 3 of the characters? No. I didn't feel like spending 30 hours on this game. I only played as Freya. She wields an axe and a gun so outdated by modern standards it's on the California gun roster. Her starting special move is a spin attack. Just like in League of Legends, you simply need to spin to win. Garrett means. Her sub-weapon is shooting her blunderbuss. You only get 2 shots. Make it count. At the end of each area of the dungeon, you'll be rewarded typically with a blood orb. You can choose to either absorb the blood to further upgrade your vampire powers, or to smash the orb to get in-level currency known as bloodstones. These are only usable when you're in the level. Once you return to the hub world for upgrades, you'll lose all of them, so make sure you use them when you're playing. There's quite a few enemies in the game. Some have ranged attacks that will project where the attack is going to land, and others have melee attacks. As far as the enemies go, there's skeletons, people with funny hats on that may or may not burn giant T's in someone's front yard, and for whatever reason, British people. If you choose to take the blood and upgrade your vampire powers, you'll be given 3 options most of the times to pick whatever you want to level up. Whether it be your damage percentage, or choosing add-on abilities to inflict more damage onto enemies. There's an ultimate attack you can get, but honestly I never ended up using the thing. You can also dash to dodge attacks, and close the distance with enemies. Once you clear an area of enemies, you can then usually pick which area you'd like to pick next. These areas in question will usually have seals on the doors telling you what you're going to get going through the next door. Some areas have health upgrades, some areas where you can buy stuff and sell artifacts that you acquire while playing. There's an area with a nurse you might just end up getting hurt just to go see again. There's also a door with a funny symbol on it. What did the developer mean by this? Why do I hear Yiddish inside of my walls? If you go to this area, you're rewarded with what I assume are shekels that you can use to upgrade your gear upon returning to the hub world. Some new areas will have NPCs that can either heal you or sell you stuff. Giving them rubies as gifts will increase your reward each time you buy from them, meaning you get healed a little bit more or get a better discount on an artifact. I never bothered with this mechanic. I was always using the rubies to upgrade my character in the hub world. Like any good anime, there's the trope of having ranks. You start out as the lowest one and can eventually become S rank. Each new rank provides you with bonuses when you return to the dungeon. With this being a roguelike, your previous upgrades from your prior run will be gone, just like your boomer parents reverse mortgaging their home, leaving you with no inheritance. You will only have the upgrades you spent on in the hub world. At the end of a certain portion of the dungeon, you'll be placed into a room with 4 pillar crystal things you need to activate to proceed to the boss for that area. After you face off against the boss, on your first few runs you will get your ship pushed in by the boss. No joke since you have virtually no upgrades. So be prepared to die and to go back to the hub world to upgrade some more. Once you defeat the boss, you'll move on to the next part of the dungeon, which changes appearances to let you know that you're progressing. There's also this lady who you can receive rewards for completing quests from. The ladies you'll be visiting the most are the BDSM lady, and the other one who takes your rubies in exchange for permanent stat changes to your character. I don't even bother visiting the quest lady until I've done several dungeon runs, so I can get all of my shekels at once. After 4 or 5 dungeons, you will face off against the Vampire Queen. What can I say about this boss fight? I don't know, it was pretty easy. By the end of my run, I was so powered up that I virtually felt none of the attacks she launched at me. The game ends and you get whatever ending you get based on if you went to the Epstein party and drank the forbidden juice, or you were a pillar of the community and abstained from any tomfoolery. To wrap up gameplay, the game is very fluid and very addictive to play. It's always about getting the next best thing to help you unalive enemies quicker. This game is like crack. The only other game that I felt the same way about was Factorio. Factorio is an endless positive feedback loop. A Korean man looked at the factory myself and another friend made, and he told us we were literally retarded. And we did everything ass backwards. Thankfully, in this game, you can't really make that same kind of mistake. Everything you upgrade will have some type of use, eventually. Visuals. As you see, this is a top-down game with 3D models while in gameplay. Okay, I'm just gonna cut to the chase here. Boobs! A real set of badonkas. Hacking some dongera bonkeros. Massive Tahanka bonkelos. Big old Tahanka kugas. Massive mommy milkas. Okay, now that we've addressed the cow in the room, we can move on. The 2D animated sprites are very impressive, very fluid, and are genuinely pleasing to look at. Animations for swinging your weapon and firing it all look about as good as you can make a game in Unity look. Of course, this game isn't going to be anywhere nearly as pretty as that game Hades. Environments are distinct from one another, so you know when you're moving on to the next part of the dungeon. That about wraps up this game's visuals. The music. The start menu music to this game goes incredibly hard. As a matter of fact, give it a listen. Each stage has music for when you're in combat and outside of combat. Very standard stuff. If you've played Doom the Dark Ages or Doom Eternal, you can hear very similar riffs from those games. The Vampire Queen boss fight music has mixes of some techno in it, along with heavy metal, which makes me a happy camper. Overall, the music is actually pretty good for such a cheap indie game. In conclusion, should you play Nunholy? Yes, I give it a my wife is leaving and taking the kids out of 10. Also, the game is only like $8 when it's not on sale. There's really no excuse not to. Just don't let anyone else catch you playing it, or you might be forced into an unskippable forced encounter with whoever lives with you. Shout out to this guy for saying the quiet part out loud. Also, I've reached 100 subscribers. Even grown-ass autistic man-children can feel joy. Thank you all for listening. What game should I do next? Well, I'd like to hear from you in the comments section. I'm open to suggestions. I will see you in the next video.
You should subscribe to Best Asuka's YouTube channel. This is definitely something Seth would say.